I really like New Mexico because it really has almost every climate or landscape. There's desert, there's high desert, there you've got all the plateaus and these desert lakes, and even national forests, and obviously mountains, especially around the Santa Fe area. But it's just really beautiful to drive through and just see all of it. Our campsite was next to the Angel Peak Badlands, and I had to drive my Prius 6 miles on a not very well maintained dirt road. I was a little worried we weren't going to make it there for a little bit, but it went right along the rim of this canyon that went down into the Badlands. And we got up top to the campsite. Almost all of them were full, but I did get a small site just for my car, and I was able to set up my tent just off to the side of it. And it was actually pretty comfortable. There was sand, and it was really windy again, so it was a little bit out of the way of the wind. Here was the final setup. Alright, so we're at night number 2 spot. We're in northern New Mexico now at a place called Angel Peak Campground. I got this tiny little spot here for my car, and I've actually set my tent off back here. Don't have a picnic table or anything. I don't even know if this is an actual site, but there's only 9 sites here, and most of them are all full, and the only other one is a little down the road, and it's really windy down at that spot, and it's right next to somebody else, so I'm okay with being a little off the trail in this tent here for tonight. It's a little windy, we'll see. May end up sleeping in the car again. Dinner also may again be an issue like it was last night, but we will see. I'm gonna get everything set up here and then go explore the Badlands overlook. There's a trail up the road that I want to check out. So this is where my tent's set up. I'm gonna unroll the mattress. I don't have a picnic table or anything for the stove this time, so I have this little fold-out table that I brought with me. I think we're just gonna do a freeze-dried meal just because it is super windy. If I can get the stove to light at all, boiling water will be easiest. So we'll see how that goes. This is what we got set up, blocking it from the wind. I spent the evening just exploring the rim of the canyon. It was too windy to go out along the actual Angel Peak Trail, which goes out to that peak that you see there. And so I wanted to try that in the morning, see if it was any less windy. But I did get some beautiful sunset views. It was absolutely gorgeous. It was a little chilly and it was cold. I didn't have any cell service either, but it was a really nice, just remote spot. The freeze-dried meal that I did make did mess my stomach up a little bit. Those freeze-dried meals just aren't super easy on the stomach. So I spent a lot of the evening just lying down in my tent, trying not to die, but after I enjoyed this beautiful sunset, of course. I didn't get any footage of the hike, but I was able to go along that rim trail a little bit before packing up my tent and making breakfast. It was quite beautiful. It was still pretty windy, but I just couldn't resist going out there for a little bit. I didn't go too far just because I was worried about the wind making me unbalanced or anything. It was very windy. But here I am just packing my tent up, getting ready for day 3. We will be heading to Zion, but we're going to make some breakfast before we leave. made it to Zion National Park late that afternoon. There was a little bit of confusion as to where I was going to sleep tonight, but I found a spot at a place called Hurricane Recreation Area, which was a little bit outside of Zion National Park. So I just pulled up there and set up for the night. And the plan was to get up early and do Angel's Landing in the morning, which is a really big hike. So the views of Zion were real nice from my tent. And then that next morning we got up early and we hit the trail. Alright, I'm hiking up to Scouts Lookout in Zion National Park. And it's a hard hike. I applied for the permit for Angel's Landing the day before, but didn't get it. So we're hiking to about half a mile from Angel's Landing before we have to turn around. Oh, I'm dying. Taking in the view at Scouts Landing, about half a mile from Angel's Landing, just before the chain section starts, there were some California condors flying around. There were about 3 of them, and they were flying super close to the trail, as well as some of these very aggressive chipmunks that would climb on your shoes because they are used to being fed. But there are a few of the California condors. A very nice park ranger actually let me through the permit checkpoint, and I was able to hike the chain section all the way to Angel's Landing, which you see here. After the hike, it was off to our next stop, Salt Lake City.